Thank you. Thank you. Ah. You know, I am starting a little bit sooner. Well, actually, I'm starting right on time now that I'm looking at the clock, but I'm just like also being like, oh, we're in a nice little hype train thanks to Chozo and Mitsuru from the looks of it. Uh, Happy New Year, everybody, and thank you so much for just joining me today. Speaking of which, hello Shiniro, hello Vree, hello Chozo, and hello Mitsuru. Mitsuru and Chozo, thank you so much for the tier 1 subs. Specifically Mitsuru for doing the being on 9 months and birthing baby. Have you been doing alright? I have been doing okay. I will admit that the holidays kind of get to me in a really weird way. Which I think holidays get to a lot of people in a weird way. I feel like I'm one of those types of people, it's like, if the holidays don't somehow depress you in some weird way, then there's something wrong with you. Like, you can definitely be cheery and whatever, but if there's not some kind of trauma associated with... If there's not some kind of trauma associated with, you know, like, the Christmas holidays, I'm just gonna be, like, looking at you and just being like, I don't believe you. Because at this rate for me, it's just pretty much just like, I am not sorry in saying that it's like almost every family I know tends to be a little bit like, it's like, it is not even that great. It's like every family fucks up the holidays somehow. It ain't the holidays itself, it's just life reflection stuff. Phoenix, right? The Yaoi game. Good lord. Also, hi Jenny, how you doing? I mean, life reflection stuff definitely hits me a lot around this time. And I certainly had a few of them myself that I was very much just like, huh. One of which that... I'm sorry. You're fine. I mean, when it comes between Phoenix Wright and then Edgeworth, it's very much just kind of like, But anyways, God, excuse me. But now the holidays are done. And a new year has started for me. And I'm realizing that there are a few things about my life that I really, really want to change, like, now. I also have to remember that I have to be very careful about, like, how quickly I change things, and also just be like, remember that I can do certain things in certain orders, and not be too quick and hasty about how much I do. But one of the first things I definitely want to do, because of the fact that I have had... Because of the fact that there are some things I do want to change, the first thing I actually been wanting to do for a very long time, but haven't had the ability, well, haven't had the nerve to do it, was actually to finally get a new car that I like. I have a car. It's a Malibu. It's a nice car. I don't want a sedan, though. I want a SUV. I want an SUV for a couple of reasons. One is that I'm fat. I am fat, I am tall. I want a car that I don't feel like I have to, like, fall into to be able to get into my goddamn car. And then struggle getting out. I will admit that part of the reason why I want a new car is because I am large and I want my car to be at least big enough to contain me. But two, I want to also get specifically an SUV because I want to be able to travel. I want to actually go to places. And there are at least a couple in mind that I can think of. As a matter of fact, there's even one really easy trip that I could do. And that is to actually pick up a friend from Houston. You know, there's actually 2 friends I could pick up from Houston. Not at the same time, though. But, you know. I could pick up a friend from Houston, travel back to Austin, and then just, like, spend some time together. So that I can just get used to the idea of being on the road for very long periods of time. And I really like the idea of doing this because, well, with one friend, they just don't live, they don't really have, like, privacy. I have enough privacy that my roommate could literally just be like, she doesn't care. As long as we are, you know, doing our own thing and being respectful, she is just like, I don't give a shit. I think in his place, it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not enough space for him, and it's probably like, maybe he doesn't like his roommates. I fucking don't know. I know I certainly had roommates I didn't like, and I'm just like, you know what? I totally get it. But I know that I also want to go visit, like, I want to actually go visit, like, Kaz, and I want to go visit Spacey, and I'm like, it would be nice to plan out a nice little road trip, and it's like, and then there's, like, some people that are even further away that I'm like, God, I would want to figure out, like, how to drive over to them. Like, make a road trip out of it. Find, like, fun places. I'll actually probably get with a, actually, it's funny. My roommate's mom, we'll just call her Janet, because that's just her name. And it's also one of those just, like, it's such a generic name. It's great. But Janet apparently has done road trip stuff before, so I'm going to be like, probably go to her and be like, hey, can you help me plan a road trip to here? And the other reason I also kind of want to do an SUV is because I'm going to see if I can actually try and find a way to actually sleep in the SUV and save a fuck ton of money on, like, having to pay for a hotel room. Which I know there's some complications with, like, actually sleeping in your car to some degree, and luckily for me, my biggest thing is just going to be, like, always try to find a Walmart, and always try to, or, like, Walmart or a Target or somewhere where it's, like, you can usually just park there, and nobody's going to bother you. Because it's one of those things where it's like, it's just a giant fucking parking lot and nobody's going to try and, like, force you to move or anything. I'm going to look into that because I would love to just find a way to sleep in areas that I'm just like, I don't care. And, like, because it's like, finding, like, hotel rooms, I don't want to spend money on hotel rooms. I'll just say that flatly. I'm just like, nope. I'd rather spend my money on, like, gas. I'd rather just spend money on the gas and just figure that out. But I don't know. I just want to actually finally travel around for a bit, go to the friends that I like, spend some time with them, and then just travel back, essentially. And I think I could probably easily do that. I don't think there's really any actual, like, problems with me figuring that out. I feel like I could figure that out, and that makes me very excited to do. So yeah, I'm gonna try to also do a couple other things to try and make this easier on me, essentially. One of the things I do want to do for sure is to actually get my budget more in order. I already even got that, like, somewhat figured out. And it's like, am I having to be a little bit tight on it, on myself? I'm like, yeah, a bit. Probably the biggest thing in which I'm really trying to be really extra critical of myself is to be like, you gotta have to factor in your savings and your car payment. And I have a very specifically high number for that one, because, like, a car payment's already going to be a lot, and I want at least another car payment's worth of savings to go with it. Like, minimum. And so I'm basically, like, looking at all of this and just being like, I could do this. This is very much possible. I could do this as long as I'm not too awful about my food consumption. Because everything else is just like a basic, like, it's just going to be, this is always how much money I have to spend. I get paid pretty well for the job. Oh, I don't want to say pretty well. I get paid decently for my job. I definitely could get paid a lot more. So I have all of this. Gas is going to go up and down depending on if I'm traveling that month or not. And then money, and then I have like another category that's just literally labeled as other, because I'm like, money just disappears because money will disappear. It's like, shit will just come up whenever it wants to. And it's like, the fact that I do have leftover money to spend on other things is at least a good thing. I do admit, though, the one thing I'm trying to do is trying to get my food bill actually, like, a lot more under control. Essentially, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm essentially trying to do $100 a week. Which is not bad, really, at all. I'm probably going to try to keep it to, like, less than that if I can help it. But I'm like, $100 a week should be more than enough food for me to subsist for a very long time. Especially if I keep it to very simple meals that I'm more than likely going to be doing. I think the biggest thing I'm going to try to actually do for myself is that even I feel that might be a challenge for me. $100 a week is definitely doable. Also, hi, Damien. I meant to say hi earlier. It's... because essentially, the biggest things I'm going to be doing is just like, a lot of my meals are going to be very simple staple meals, where it's like sandwiches, cereal, burritos is another thing, wraps would be another thing I could then add on to that. So like, I'm going to try to like actually come up with a list of just like, what are really fucking simple meals that I could make, and then just spread that out over 7 days. And kind of like, actually make a schedule of, I eat this stuff on this day and this stuff on this day. Because my biggest problem with food is that I have horrible choice paralysis. I think what I really just want to do is just be like, unless you feel like actually cooking something super specific, this is your default for today. It's like, if you want to, it's like, you can't just be like, oh, I don't feel like eating it, where I'm like, no. Unless you're just like, I really want to make this today. It's like, no. You're making this and you're eating it. Doesn't matter if you don't really care to eat that today. It's going to be you're going to eat it, you're going to be okay with it. If there's something else you really want, you have to define it first, kind of thing. And so that's just essentially how I want to do this, of just figure it out, try to find these items that you know you would like, and go forward from there. I like this idea, I really do, of just figure it out, get it together, let's go, kind of thing. I do admit that eventually I might start doing more like meal prep stuff, like on the weekends. But I don't know, I feel like $100 a week should be more than doable. That should be doable for like the amount of food I should be able to make with that. I hope I'm not overestimating how much money I really need, or how much money I really need to eat. I guess I'll find out. It's like, I guess we'll find out how much money I actually need to subsist in a week, and go from there. But for now, let's go ahead and get started. I have been jabbering for a little bit, because it has been a while. I feel like I've definitely been enjoying like a vacation time, because quite frankly speaking, I've been needing some time to just like step away and really like reflect myself on the like, okie dokie, I have things that I want to think about. I guess I'm also limited since it's hard for me to make a schedule and set food aside for myself to make a home. That's fair. Budgeting is definitely not easy. And especially when it comes to food, like, I have been so freeform with food. And I think that's why I've been having such a hard time with it. And I think right now it's pretty much just like, I really just need to set a schedule of just like, you will eat these things unless you specifically are like, I want to make, it's like, I want to make a spaghetti balzone with fucking homemade meatballs. And like, unless it's one of those, like, I have a very specific thing I know I want to make right the fuck now, I'm just going to be like, I'm going to have default meal Tuesday afternoon and just go with it. And that would probably, it's like, it'll help me be able to, like, actually keep track of my funds and actually keep track of what I'm eating, because I do know that I want to try to keep, I want to try and actually be better about eating more fruit, eating more veggies. The one thing in which I probably will continue to include a lot is just snacks. To make sure that I have a fuck ton of snacks that I can still buy for myself. And just be like, and if you're still hungry between meals, just fucking snack. It's like, this isn't you trying to lose weight. This is you trying to get your fucking, like, budget in order. So that you could actually, like, fucking enjoy yourself, essentially. Okay. Let's see. Right, I need to put you over here. I need to pause this. Put that down. Open this up. Go over there. But in IRL, we need to balance ourselves in flavors, health, and finances. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying right now to at least be more conscientious about what I'm doing. I can get into that too. Hold on, you know what? Let me get into that real fast. So one of the things I've been thinking about is actually the fact of, anyone that knows me knows that I am very much a fatfer. I'm very much a gainer, even, if you know what that is. If you don't look it up. Unless you really want to, which in that case, you know, it's your life. Do whatever the fuck you want. I have definitely gotten to a very large weight. I am like 360 pounds. I'm very happy with this. I'm very content with myself. I will admit, though, that a big part of... Also, hi, Dr. Roden. A big part of my identity with that, though... One, I really want to be able to do it with somebody, especially with how large I would like to get. And it's going to be one of those things where I'm like, I really, really do absolutely need someone's help with it. I can't just... I still struggle to get to 200 pounds. I'm sorry, Brie. It's one of the big reasons why I want to at least get my food budget back in order. And then I really want to actually ask myself this question of just like, do I really want to continue being more of the gainer identity that I have? In fantasy, I will always enjoy that. That'll be a thing in which I will still be very happy to get all kinds of artwork and do whatever with. In reality, it's one of those things of like, what do I actually want to do? And in reality, I also do like the idea of maybe actually working out more too. I have been giving this a little bit more of a serious idea. I do admit that I do want to at least do a base amount of working out anyways. Like, one of the things I do want to buy for myself, and it's probably actually going to come out of my savings, is I do want to get, like, an exerciser thing for my desk. You probably want waffles. I just so happen to have waffles. Oh. So I do want to get, like, a little exerciser thing for my desk to actually try and, like, get that going. That sounds good if you want to continue, especially with someone. Aw. So, since I'm by myself, like, there is a practical part of me that's like, I can only really get so fat before it gets a little bit too, like, in the way. And I'm very much like, I want to still be very independent and very able to do things myself without it being too much of a hassle. So it's like, So it's one of those things where it's like, but Dioxo, what if somebody literally was living with you being this entire gainer thing? I would be the type of person that's like, I'm gonna get fucking fat then. If I had more time, I would rather take more martial arts classes. No, that's nice. I know that for me, it's more of like, bank into convenience. That's why I want to be like, be as convenient as possible with these choices. Because really, I just need to be able to work out my legs more. I could probably also like do some dumbbell stuff. I mean, I do have some like free weights that I literally have like 2 free weights. I could probably literally like take those back from my roommate's room and be like, hi, I need these back again, I'm sorry. And then just start doing that. Wouldn't having a big house with several people all open to making lots of food be useful? Yes! I don't have that, though. That's the big problem, unfortunately. These are the problems which I have, and I'm like, I have to live in reality. There's also other things concerning my desires that I kind of feel like I have to parse out a little bit more. And really, like, confront myself with it a little bit more. Which, housing market is shit right now. Everything is shit right now. The fact that I want to get a car right now is not great, but I really just want to have a better car, and I really want to take advantage of I really want to take advantage of what I can get. I really want to take advantage of my job, which is that I work remotely, which means as long as I have access to the internet, I could work anywhere. I can go anywhere, and I can visit anybody. So I'm just going to be like, why not just fucking visit the friends that you want to see, spend time with them, technically do work wherever I can, and just, you know, just kind of be like, you know what? Fuck it. It's like, I'm probably literally going to be doing like only a few short like trips. I do admit if I do go to Foix, I'm probably actually going to drive to Foix and take my own car there, because I think that would be a lot better for me in the long run of just, I can have my own vehicle. At least I hope that can work okay. There's gonna be so many fucking people there to live in a decent car, but everything is just so expensive. At least I'm gonna try to get the decent car. I'm going to hold on to it for as many years as I can. Probably try to eventually pay it off. Hopefully. And then just be happy that I have a brand new car. I'm probably going to get it before the 15th. Going to take my roommate's mom so that she can play moral support / the bad cop. You know, she's going to be the really nitpicky mom that she'll criticize everything about the dealership, and I can just be the son that's just like, oh, mom. It's like, he's just doing his job, you know, like doing all of that. Even by budgeting my expenses. No, it certainly just isn't easy. And maybe one of these days I might even find another living arrangement that I could theoretically move into eventually. I'm not sure. I'll have to figure that out when I get to it. I do know that I have like, I need to actually ask him that question now that I think about it. Anyways, I'll although that would explain a couple of other things too. Sorry, thinking out loud. But it's like, since I have a remote job, I literally could live anywhere too. So part of me is just like, it would be kind of nice to even use this opportunity to visit people and then just see even what my prospects might be out there for like places I could maybe live, or like areas that I might enjoy just being at too. And just going from there. And then I can try to actually focus my search of like where would I actually want to work at to like where do I actually want to live, and then go from there. I think that wouldn't be a terrible idea, because I feel like right now it's just like I'm just gonna keep applying to positions until I figure it out. But okay. Oh, I see. Somebody put the Phoenix Wright game in their library today. I'm not going to say who, but apparently I can see that they got it very quickly. Okay. But right now, I'm definitely having a bit of a, do I really want to get super fat or not? I don't know. We'll see. I guess for right now, it's like, I'm going to do the practical thing. And then depending on the future will depend on whether I continue being a buff panda or being really, really fat. Okay, moving on. I have been jabbering all this time. If only moving and finding roommates were easy. Yeah. Luckily, I do have friends that I like. So, I am lucky that I was able to find a roommate that I work with, and she's a delightful person to be around. I like being with her, I like being around her, we work pretty well together, so I'm just over here like, you know what? It's like, we live together, it's been a good year. We're probably gonna like stay roommates for a while until we finally decide to go our own separate ways. She's definitely admitted that eventually she would like to move out somewhere else, and I'm just kind of like, that's fair. Okay. So this is the last episode. This was like, I guess, literally like an expansion episode of the first game, which was for the DS. This was actually a fun case. It's also an incredibly long case from what I remember. So let's get started. I love this game. Ooh. Cool. It's been 2 months since Mia left the office. 2 months without a single trial. I had offers, but none I took. That is, until the day that girl showed up. I had one bad roommate experience, and I simply can't think of ever living with some random stranger. I had that not too long ago. You guys know how I felt about my last living situation. I was very adamantly vocal about that. I hated it. I hated it so much. 2 of my 3 roommates were problematic in one way or the other. The other roommate was more of just like, he was just really messy in the kitchen. And I really hated that about him, but that was really the only thing I had a problem with him. The other 2 were just like, one was just a complete asshole to me, and the other one just couldn't hold down a fucking job. I was kind of expecting Bad Apple to start playing for a second. But yes, a fatter dog seems good, in my opinion. I will say this much. I do not mind people pushing me in one direction over another. I think right now I'm kind of in that part of just being like, I think right now it's just kind of like, I'm so on the fence that I kind of like the idea of even just being influenced at this rate. Because I'm like, I would be happy with either option. It's just more of a matter of like, what do I really want to do more? And there's one portion of this case that is way too specific on something, even when you know what it should look like. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I know exactly which one you're talking about. That's not until like way later on in this case, though. Why do I come here to the office every day? It's not like I want to work. There you are, finally. Where have you been? My sister's trial is tomorrow. Who are you? It doesn't matter who I am. It only matters who you are. I really love how they just use the same sprite work as Maya, but then they just, you know, they just basically were like, and then just make her look different. The famous defense attorney, Maya Fey. Oh, you're not Mia Fey, are you? I'm sorry, but Miss Mia Fey no longer works here. So, you are the coffee boy? I'm Phoenix Wright, a defense attorney. Right. Wait. You're the Phoenix Wright. The Phoenix Wright from the Edgeworth murder case? You mean the one from the previous episode? Yes. Yes, that's correct. It wasn't Edgeworth who was murdered, though. That's a relief, then. You're better than nobody. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm not taking cases right now. But you are Phoenix Wright, right? The undefeated defense attorney of 4 cases? Look, I'm not accepting any new cases. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try elsewhere. Please! I'm out of time. But... please, you have to help. It's my sister. Maya? Could it be... Okay, I'll hear you out. Really? Thank you so much. My name's Emma Sky. I'm a scientific investigator. Scientific investigator? What is science? Emma, was it? So you're a scientific investigator? Yep, that's right. Is something wrong? No, it's just you seem kind of jumpy, or maybe just young? Young? I'll be 16 years old this year. Oh, I see. Wait, only 16? I'm set to be formally assigned to forensics in 3 more years. My work is becoming quite well known, at my age no less. So what exactly is your current position then? Well, legally speaking, I guess you'd call me an 11th grader? But I'm ready to do my job, at my age no less. Great, another future professional in training. So what's this about a case? You said the trial's tomorrow? My sister didn't do it. She wouldn't stab someone with a knife. She wouldn't. So, it's a murder case? I don't care if there's a witness who saw her do it. She didn't do it. I know she didn't do it. It's a scientific fact. And there's a witness? Just talk to her. You have to talk to her. Right, I suppose I will. I promised her I'd bring Mia Fey, but... That's interesting. How would she know Mia? So, you want to be a scientific investigator when you grow up, then? Excuse me? I'm not a child, I'll have you know. Still, it's good to have a goal, albeit a very unusual one. I believe investigations should be done scientifically speaking, instead of the way that we do it right now, which is just a bunch of bullshit. Hello, Togi! How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Don't you? Yeah, sure, can't fault her for a lack of enthusiasm. If this case is handled scientifically, I'm sure my sister's name will be cleared. Your sister? I've been doing research, you know. I'm developing a new scientific method of case investigation called actually using science. I'll show you when I'm done. I'm looking forward to it. Guess I should get down to the detention center and talk to her sister. My sister asked for Mia specifically. This Mia Fey person was a few years below her in school. So they went to the same school, huh? She always told me to go to Mia if I ever needed a defense attorney. And well, I need one. Incidentally, Mia is a woman? Now that you mention it, I guess it is more of a woman's name than a man's. For Luna. Hello. I'm probably just gonna say Luna. Hello, it's so good to see you. Let me give you a quick shout out before I completely forget. What were you doing? You're also playing Guild Wars 2. I feel like a lot of people have been playing that game lately. I need to play it more myself. Hello, Raiders, and welcome on in. I'm Doxy Yomi if you don't know me, and I certainly do hope you've been having a wonderful time. It's still Winter's Day? It is still Winter's Day. It is still cold. Had to get my presents. Oh. I certainly got a lot of presents for myself this year. It's really funny, though, that I did actually get a couple of more other presents from my, it was technically my roommate's family. They're very sweet. I got a book. Guild Wars 2. I got a book, and it was Frankenstein, because I've really been wanting to read Frankenstein for a very long time. And then I got a bookmark, too. It's a Winnie the Pooh bookmark, and it actually makes me smile. I don't know, little things like that actually make me happy, because I've been wanting to read more. And I want to read more of, like, classics, too. Still need to find more books to read. That's also another thing I want to look into, is actually I love the game. 10 years now, and a long time, and Guild Wars 1 before that. Classics are great. They are! That's why I'm playing this game. Because, I don't know, Phoenix Wright has always been just, like, really silly fucking VN anime logic game that I just enjoy and get frustrated with sometimes. Like, Jesus Christ. I swear to God, I will not doubt that eventually I may have to pull out a guide and be like, what the fuck do I need to do now? And I hate the idea of having to do a guide, but you know what? Ugh, fuck me. But yeah, I want to read that. I know I want to eventually get into reading Lord of the Rings. Currently in the middle of reading Jurassic Park and the Lost World. Like, there's a bunch of books I really just want to get into and be like, huh. Okay. Back to VN mode. Well, it's nice of you to help your sister out like this. You must be close. Well, actually, when she gets like she is now, I kind of hate her. Huh? Oh. Actually, hold on. There is one thing I totally forgot to grab. Hold on. Oh, okay. Sorry. I totally forgot that I had tea. And I was just like, fuck, I left that out there. So I went to go grab my tea. This one is actually a green tea with some berry infusions with it. It's nice. I definitely oversteeped it, though. Huh. But she's my only family. Your only family? What about your parents? They died in a car accident when I was little. Oh. I'm sorry. Be burdened with this knowledge. Good day. Detention Center. February 22nd, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. I wonder what's wrong with Emma. She's got quiet all of a sudden as soon as we arrived. Guard, I thought I told you I didn't want visitors. Sorry, ma'am, it's just your sister. No excuses. Or did you not want me to, or did you not want to raise this year, Understood, ma'am. What was that all about? Hi, Lana. Funny. I seem to remember specifically telling you not to come here. Perhaps my memory is failing. Look, I didn't want to come here either, okay? But your trial's tomorrow, and you still don't have a defense attorney. Oh, you mean with Guild Wars? I will eventually get to it. Unfortunately, 100 Lines has me right now, and I have to finish it. Which is basically another VN game that I am going to play into oblivion until it's done. I might even stream that one eventually. But anyways. But your trial's tomorrow, and you still don't have a defense attorney. I'll be the one in court tomorrow. This has nothing to do with you, Emma. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Hey, how do you know me? Mia mentioned you. I've heard quite a bit. I'm sorry, what exactly is it that you do? My name is Lana Sky. I'm chief prosecutor for this district. You're a prosecutor? Two sisters, one a lawyer. Could this be a coincidence? Unless just a simple coworker. I think she actually is the coworker. I think she actually is the boss. Because I believe Edgeworth is nothing more but just like a senior prosecutor. But he isn't the chief prosecutor. Emma, Lana. I mean, they're just like... Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? There's something you should know from the start, which is the suspect in this case has confessed to the crime. Huh? Wait, but the suspect is... Me. I did it. Well, Mr. Wright? Well, why don't you begin by telling me exactly what happened? The crime took place yesterday, February 21st at 5:15 p.m. That's quite specific. It was in the witness's deposition. A witness clearly saw me committing the crime. That's a bit of a bad luck, wasn't it? The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. The prosecutor's office, huh? In your subordinate's car trunk. Classy. Ugh. Involved in the pro's office. That's involved. I have no idea. For now, I think they just have it to where Edgeworth is just usually our, like, counterpart. But let's not worry about that. I was arrested on the spot, caught red-handed as it were. Well, that's just great. So who was the victim? An investigator with the police department. I suppose the correct term is detective. A detective? Death was due to a loss of blood. He was stabbed once in the stomach. By you. Death wasn't immediate, but the wound was fatal. Hi, Sean. How are you? Lana looks more like a military officer than a prosecutor. Honestly, she does. She looks like she belongs to a fucking military. Anyways, I see. Allow me to repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective. You know what that means, don't you? Uh-oh. What, Mr. Wright? What does it mean? Well, it means the police department will consider it a matter of pride to have me found guilty. Had an interesting New Year's. What did you do? Were you slutting it up like you normally do? No, Gumshoe is fine. I forget his name, but Gumshoe is fine. Me, slut? No. Sean, I know you better. I also know that you really need to be coming over to my place so you can be slutty with me. Bullying? Yes. You're supposed to be bullied, anyways. They will use any means at their disposal to do so. This case gets worse and worse with everything I learn. So you're the chief prosecutor. That is correct. I am responsible for overseeing every trial handled by prosecutors in this district. I make sure the prosecutors have what they need to do the job and manage every aspect. Those are my responsibilities in a nutshell. That's an awfully large nutshell. Still, I'm a little surprised. I would think you'd recognize the district's chief prosecutor, Mr. Wright. Huh? In fact, it seems impossible. You wouldn't... Lana? What happened to your hand? Oh, this? I cut myself by accident. When I stabbed him, that is. Huh? I'm not very good at being a criminal, I suppose. How am I supposed to defend this? Time to change the subject. Wait, she was in this class ahead of Mia, wasn't she? You were in school with Mia, correct? A few years above her? Emma told you that too, did she? I used to be alright being bullied, but Billy decided she wants to push others around. What? Emma told you that too, did she? Well, why not? I did drag him all the way here from his office. Although it seems he has very little in common with me, Mia. Hey! It was in law school. I was in my 3rd year and she was auditing the class. Billy is me, bright pink Ian. Oh, is that what you were doing now, Shawnee boy? She was different than the other students. Different? She was strong. She'd do anything to become a defense attorney. Anything. That was probably why she was attracted to me. Excuse me. Intellectually attracted, Lana was top of her class in school. I was the best there was. Uh-oh. I thought you were lesbians with each other. Sean, I need to hold your hands and give you a smooch on the mouth. I'm doing pretty good in school too, by the way. It sounds a bit different when Emma says it. Well, Mr. Wright? Excuse me. As you can plainly see, I'm admitting my guilt. I think it's safe to say, there's no way you can take this case. None. But Lana... Why? Why are you doing this to me? You never think of anyone but yourself. I know you didn't do it, Lana. I know. So how can you say you did? If I lose you, I'll be all alone. I hate you, Lana. Mr. Wright? Yes? I believe our discussion here is ended. The rest, I leave to you. You mean you're requesting my services as your defense? Don't lose any sleep over it. Your client has confessed after all. The case is over. Right. I'll do what I can to get to the bottom of this. Lana has confessed to the crime, yes. But something doesn't fit. It's that look in Emma's eyes. There's something else going on here, and I'm going to find out what. I hate Lana too. Sean. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Huh? About what? My sister. She's not always like that, you know. I just never expected to be defending another prosecutor again. She's changed a lot. She used to be so gentle, always smiling. Everybody liked her. I see. Sorry, but I'm having trouble imagining that. What happened to her? I don't know for certain myself. I think maybe she... Well, maybe not. Sounds like there's something there... Sounds like there's something there that defies a simple scientific explanation. Let's go check out this underground parking at the prosecutor's office, shall we? Okay. February 22nd, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot. So this is the lot where it all happened. Looks like they're still investigating. Funny that my first visit to the prosecutor's office should be like this. Hey everyone, keep up the good work. Hey, what are you thinking? Well, they are going to be my coworkers 3 years from now, after all. No harm in saying hello. Actually, there is. You know attorneys aren't supposed to examine crime scenes. I'm trying to not stand out too much here, see? Hey there! You expected to go unnoticed here, partner? Partner? There we go, now I see his face. What do we have here? Looks like a Bambina got loose from the ranch and is up to no good. Folks gotta learn to keep them doggies tied down, partner. Mr. Marshall! Marshall? Looks more like a sheriff to me. Looky here, Bambina, I know how you feel. But this is my gang's gold strike, see? Strike? This is our claim, our territory, with a motherload of evidence. If you're fixing to mess with what's ours, you'll regret it, partner. You know what dreams the cacti out in the desert dream you want to? What's this guy talking about? You head along home now. Happy trails, Bambina. Why are we talking like this? We're in California! Was that a hombre, a friend of yours? Huh? Kind of, sorta. Yeah, he's a detective. Who thinks he's a sheriff from the Wild West, it seems? Have you been east of the mountains? Actually, no, and I hope to fix that one day. You know what? I know some people in California. I would love to visit them and then maybe go see the Redwoods finally. Because my mom and dad actually went to go see the Redwoods themselves when I was a kid. I actually would love to see the Redwoods myself. The suspicious looking thing. What's this? A wallet? Excuse me, officer. Wait, what are you doing, Mr. Wright? What am I doing? I just found this wallet, so I'm handing it over to the police. I don't believe it. This is the real basic. Anything at a crime scene is evidence. Let's be scientific about this, please. Just put it in your pocket. How is that scientific? Sounds like theft to me. What makes a tree an annoying dog? What? Sean, are you needing attention? Do you need me to, like, have you come over and then I can push you onto a bed and just do all kinds of things to you? Because if it's my bed, I can't break your couch again. Wallet hastily stuffed into pocket. A foldable wallet found here at the crime scene. There seems to be something inside. I'm called to duty already, and at my tender age. Here, I'll teach you the trick to examine evidence in detail, okay? By the way her eyes are sparkling, I can tell she's been waiting for this. Okay, now look at the court record. You have to be sure to examine evidence carefully on all sides. Now, let's start examining from every angle. Oh. What? Okay, there we go. Look, I think there might be a clue here. You should check it out with a press of an enter. This is an ID card. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, ID 5842189. See? Well, isn't scientific investigation useful? I guess, though I don't see what science has to do with it. Goodman's ID card added to our court record. Let's be sure to examine every piece of evidence we find. I guess I got to be on my toes from now on. Well, no time to waste, let's go hunting for clues. I wonder what this is. Well, partner, looks like you got no intention of going home quietly. The sheriff! Like I said before, this here's our claim. You'd best be moseying along unless you're fixing to bite the bullet. Good, scary. Could you just tell us one thing? Who owns that car? Well, well, the little filly has got a good nose on her. You wanna know who rides that red Mustang with a body in her saddle, eh? Please? No problem, partner. About time for victuals, anyway. Get yourself to the saloon up on the 12th floor of the prospector's office. Might just find you a cerveza you like. Prospector's office? What does this guy think he is? And when, from that matter? That's itself. Look up victuals, saloon, surveys, maybe we should check out room 1202, the High Prosecutor's office. In any case, stay away from the car. You can look around here all you like, just keep your paws off our claim. Right, great. Maybe there's some more clues around here, Miss Wright. Let's check it out. Excuse me. Were you two all set? Us? What's this? She couldn't be. You're selling lunches? Here? This is a crime scene. Hello, half and half, was it? Thanks. And you, sir? Yeah? Some crunchy goodness coming at you. Thanks. Interesting way of doing business. This area is off limits to anyone without clearance. Especially a passerby. Or are you officers? No, but you don't exactly look like the type to have clearance. Well, that's hardly a way to greet someone. Even in my days as the cough-up queen are over. Cough-up? You know, I'm feeling kind of full. Maybe I'll pass on lunch. I'm quite connected to this case, you see. The images are burned into my eyes. You might say, yes, all the sword's secrets. Secrets? Dear me, you are a slow one, aren't you? I'm referring to the murder, the stabbing of that detective. What? A witness clearly saw me committing the crime. You mean you're the witness? My sister was talking about... Please, please, cough up queen, tell us what happened. The name is Angel Star. Don't you go forgetting it. Or before you know it, I'll have you whimpering at my heels. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, she means it. Sean, somebody you might like. Somehow, I knew. Yesterday was a day of destiny. I knew something was going to happen. Just like I know that the daily special on Friday every week is salmon. Destiny? Was yesterday special for some reason? You're a defense attorney, right? You should know then. You should know the foul misdeeds of the evil ones who haunt this den of inequity. Evil ones? Prosecutors, they have no qualms at all about blackening the name of innocence. And yesterday they paid homage to the most evil one of all. They gave an award for King of Prosecutors. What a farce. So she's saying there was some sort of prosecutors convention yesterday? I was almost compelled to lace their lunches with something foul. Do you have a personal grievance against prosecutors or something? Or is there some kind of scientific evidence of this evil? Young miss, mock me at your own risk. You'll soon find out why they call me the cough-up queen. Ew. The most heinous of all the evil ones, the one they awarded yesterday. It was in his car that they found the body. Proof that he devours the evilest lunches of all. Really? Really what? I'm totally confused. One thing's clear. This lunch lady has a thing against prosecutors. So what exactly was it that you witnessed, Miss Star? It was a fascinating spectacle, to be sure. I now feel I know what they say when they talk about a woman's wrath. To see Lana Skye wield that knife so... Her knife flashed in anger, bringing him to a sad end. It was truly a sight to see. You mean you saw the very moment of the crime? The sound of his silvery ties to this world being cruelly cut still rings in my ears. And the rhythmic beats of Lana Skye's knife. Wait a second, you know Lana Skye? Of course. It's quite a feat becoming chief prosecutor. How many lunch boxes of sin did she pack to make that journey, I wonder? She always travels light? Now why would this pretty lunch lady know the chief prosecutor's name? Could we ask you a bit about yourself, Miss Star? I come here every day to sell lunches. I impart only the freshest and best from the Far East. For some reason, the boxed lunches are a hit here. Why not make the lunches here rather than import them? Did you say something? No. Only true connoisseurs can understand. The kind you can only tell someone who has tried General Tso's Trilobite lunch set. Never mind, you win. I don't even want to appreciate part of the Trilobite's flavor. Anyway, I come here every day to sell lunches. My boyfriend works in the security room here at the prosecutor's office. Your boyfriend? See the security room over there? The glass-walled booth? I sell my lunches, and since I'm here anyway, I drop in to see him. Since you're here anyway, I guess selling lunches is more important than romance. So, to scientifically analyze the data available so far, you, Miss Star, are a lunch vendor with an ulterior motive for coming here. Useful analysis, not. Did you have a bad experience with a prosecutor, Miss Star? I said some hostility? Hostility? Perhaps. Prosecutors are all alike, and the bigger they get, the worse they smell. Kind of like 10-day-old clams in the chowder. I wonder if Miss Star was involved in some sort of legal trouble in the past. That'd be a sure cause of food poisoning, scientifically speaking, of course. I mean, now you're talking cough-up queen. I thought she was just a lunch vendor, but now I'm not so sure. Do you know this person? About this card. Lunchland vendors only accept cash, no cards. Especially not a card belonging to someone else. No, this isn't a credit card, it's an ID card. It belongs to a detective. And you're showing this to me, the lunch lady, why? That's like showing a fine honeyed ham to a detective. Why do I always feel like I'm being mocked? Look at my badge. A defense attorney must be able to fight. How about you? Do you think you can win? How about tackling Lunchland's Pickle Supreme lunchbox? Wow, it's really crunchy. A box of pickles. Kind of a sad lunch if you ask me. Well, time to go say hi to Edgeworth. This is the kind of room that just screams, I can do the job. Quite a change from your office, really. Thanks. Look, there's a trophy or something here. A trophy? What, that shield? It takes real nerve to display stuff like this. Whoever's office this is, they must be a real stuck-up jerk. Phoenix Wright. You never tire prying into other people's business, do you? That voice. Long time no see, Edgeworth. Huh? Ah! Mr. Edgeworth! You know him from somewhere? Of course! I'm his biggest fan! My sister introduced us once and... Right, her sister is the chief prosecutor after all. Well, what brings you here? I warn you, I've been known to be a real stuck-up jerk. No, did I? No! It was just Mr. Wright here. Hey, don't blame me. We're just here to investigate a murder case. Murder? A body was found in this nasty bright red sports car in the parking lot. That would be my car. What of it? Ugh! Your car? I'll say one thing, she certainly can scream. So, the body was found in your car. Go ahead, say it right. You think I did it, don't you? After you went through all that trouble to help me last year, no less. No, we don't think you did it. I mean, it was my sister who stabbed him. Wait, no, she didn't do that. I mean... Wait. So you're the chief prosecutor's little sister, then? Yes, sir, Emma Skye. It's nice to meet you again. No, that didn't sound forced at all. Now I remember. You've really grown. I'll admit it was a surprise for me, too. To think that my own car would become the scene of a murder. More surprising still, I'm being forced to prove my superior's guilt. I can understand. Wait, what did you say? Lana Skye is the chief prosecutor, the top prosecutor in the district. She can't prosecute herself, so I'll be the prosecutor at the trial tomorrow. You? Mr. Edgeworth? To be honest, it's a bit of a miracle I'm still here at all. What do you mean? Rumors. You've heard the rumors about me, haven't you? Miles Edgeworth. It's hard to remember a time when there weren't rumors about this guy. Forging evidence, arranging false testimony, illegal searches, you name it. Thanks to you, my innocence was established in the trial at the end of last year. However, there are some who say I'm the one responsible for the current incident. What? That's crazy! Some people need very little excuse to think ill of others. It's a fact of life, impossible to stop. But some of them even go so far as to present me with toys like this. They think it's funny. Toys? That bronze shield? There's gotta be a story behind that one. Chief Prosecutor Sky. Yes, we first worked together on a case 2 years ago. It was my first big case. That's right, I remember. 2 years ago? I wasn't even a lawyer yet. Since then, I always felt that she was looking out for me. It appears I was mistaken. Mistaken? Why? I mean, I know she's not the warmest person, but I'm sure she felt some responsibility for you. Then why? Why did she stab someone in the trunk of my car? Not only that, she stabbed him with my knife. What? What? Mr. Edgeworth, your knife was the murder weapon? To be specific, it was the knife I keep in the toolbox in the trunk of my car. The murder weapon, usually in Edgeworth's toolbox, traces of the victim's blood, no prints. Edgeworth? What? Are you sure you didn't do it? Come on, can't you take a joke? You have a strange sense of humor, Mr. Wright. Say, Edgeworth, I was wondering about this. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are you sure you should be showing that to Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, he'll take it for sure, won't he? I wish I could be on the same side as Mr. Edgeworth, but then my sister would be found guilty. If she sighs any deeper, I'm going to start getting depressed. It's against policy to discuss evidence, especially with you. I once dreamed of being a defense attorney a long time ago. What? You wanted to be a defense attorney, Mr. Edgeworth? Yet my path is laid out clearly before me. I have no time to reflect on what might have been. I've been wondering, what the heck is this? It has a big K on it. Ugh, of prosecutors. Huh? What's that? It's the King of Prosecutors trophy. King of Prosecutors? It's a great honor. They send that shield to the best prosecutor each year. What? So the K, that's... K stands for King? Yeah, you got a problem with that. I didn't design the thing. King of Prosecutors? Kind of like Employee of the Month, only better. Give it to Edgeworth, King of Prosecutors, at the PD on the day of the murder. Hey, a chessboard! I'm not too up on my chess, but it looks like blue's in a bed of a tight spot. The red knights have surrounded the blue pawn. Huh? Those horses are mounted knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. And check out that poor pawn. His head is kind of spiky. It kind of reminds me of you. Mr. Edgeworth must be an avid chess player. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Edges surrounding a pawn with spiky hair. No, it's nothing. So basically this says you were the best of the best last year, huh? You can take that foolish grin elsewhere, right? I lost a day of work to receive that travesty. Huh? Why is that? I had to go to the police department to receive that broken shield. The police department? Yes, right next to the police station downtown. You've been there, haven't you? Where Detective Gumshoe works? Yeah. I was wondering something about your shield. Why is it broken? What does it matter? I've got more important things to worry about. Oh, right. He doesn't seem too concerned about his award, for better or worse. Yesterday was a very busy day for the prosecutor's office. Maybe we should ask him more about yesterday? Could you tell me more about the yesterday, the day of the murder? Yesterday was the annual cleaning day of at the prosecutor's office. Cleaning day? Working with the police department, we sort and file all evidence for solved crimes. We call it evidence transfer. Wiping your hands of old cases, in other words? Oh, and another thing, a ceremony was held at the police department. There's an annual review and awards for outstanding police officers and prosecutors. And that's when you got the shield. I was at the police department yesterday afternoon. I got back here at 5:12. That's very precise. People like myself and Mr. Edgeworth pride ourselves in our precision, Mr. Wright. No, I place little faith in my memory. The only thing I trust is solid evidence. Edwards' parking stub added to the court record. Ah. This is the parking stub from the underground lot. The murder took place around 5:15. So the murder happened right after you got back? What right? I appreciate it if you direct that suspicious glare elsewhere. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm Edgeworth. What is it now? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Report? What? Did you find new evidence in the case against Chief Prosecutor Skye? I don't like the way this conversation is going at all. Skye, sir? No, sir. No name of that kind, sir. Not in this report, sir. I think I just heard Edgeworth's lid blow. Mr. Edgeworth's lid isn't on very tight, is it? I made a clear request to the police department, did I not? I need to focus on the trial tomorrow, so don't bring me anything unrelated. Sir, but, sir! I'm just following orders, sir! They told me to bring this to you! I wasn't aware of the particulars of give me your name. Yes, sir. Meekins, Sir Officer Meekins. Right, Officer Meekins. Take your report and leave. And good luck with that raise next month. Buster, I didn't know. Poor guy, looks like he was absent on the day they gave out praise and good luck. Right. Yes, sir? Guy caught me off guard. As you can see, I'm busy. You may leave now. Let's see what he says, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective from the same department as that patrolman just now. Go down to the police department. You can ask more there. Thanks. He seems to have finally calmed down at last. Okay, bye! Oh, February 22nd, Police Department entrance. Whew, we're finally here. Why would they put the police department so far away from the prosecutor's office? Beats me, that took almost 30 minutes by taxi, and traffic wasn't even that bad. Police department, huh? I've only ever been to the criminal affairs next door. Hold on, what's that? Disturbing! Why does it... Why does it undulate like that? Undulate like that? Why does it undulate like that? Oh, wait, I know. This is the Blue Badger. They're trying to make him the police mascot. Wow, Mr. Wright, you sure know a lot about the police. Still, he does seem familiar somehow. Forget the Blue Badger. Who's that next? This fucking song. Someone appears to be dancing with the Blue Badger. Uh-oh, he noticed me. Sure is running over here fast. Hey, pal, what are you doing here? That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Specifically, why were you dancing over there? What? Well, Well, at least he doesn't seem to be busy. This is our chance to get information. Hey, I'll have you know I'm a very busy man, pal. I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You better not agree to defend the suspect in this case. Why not? Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor has confessed to the crime. She says she summoned the detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him. But what if she's not telling the truth? Yeah, well, no. Come on, pal. There's plenty of evidence against her. But what if the evidence was faked? Hey, pal, can I speak to you for a second? Huh? Me? Why is this little girl so peeved at me? She's a relative of the suspect. She's Lana Sky's sister. Whoa, the chief prosecutor's little sister! Just please investigate this case carefully, okay? Scientifically. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep your voice down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faked. Huh? It's a sensitive issue with us these days. So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe? Me? Oh, well, nothing really. They kicked me out of the criminal affairs. Detective Gumshoe, what did you do this time? What do you mean, this time? Then what happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, with my sister's case and all. It's true. We've never had a chief prosecutor murdered anyone before. Only the highest ranking people are being let into criminal affairs now. The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detective. You're not letting any of us rank and file detectives in at all. None of you? Hold on, excuse me. I know this is an important trial, but isn't that a little odd? So anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the badger dance down pat. Isn't there anything else you could be doing? Chief of Police himself is directing this investigation, pal. An Officer Marshall was assigned to the underground parking lot. Officer Marshall? Now I think about it, Emma did seem to know that Marshall guy. A patrolman in charge of a crime scene. It's unheard of, pal. Hey, that's it! That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edwards got yesterday. Were you at the awards ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Ah, congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award. Packing from his trip to Japan. Hi, Mitsuru! That was a hell of a... Oh, hey, this trial! Yep. This trial! With the Blue Badger and the song that we'll have to listen to constantly. And I'm going to make you listen to. But, Mitsuru, how are you doing, you big cutie? Even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office. Joke's on you, motherfucker. I like this chapter. I like this chapter, too! But the Blue Badger song kinda gets to me sometimes. Detective Gumshoe, what can you tell me about this? Huh? Hey, pal, this is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that. You have to turn it into the police. It's people like you that get me into so much trouble all the time. Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot. Let's see. Bruce Goodman. Goodman? Sounds familiar. Nay, my mistake. But didn't you work together with him in criminal affairs? Whoa! Now I remember! Bruce Goodman! He's the victim! Just a little miffed because I got the wrong pizza delivered to me. Oh! Is it at least a good wrong pizza, or was it just like absolutely awful? That's what I thought. Can you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe? So this ID card belongs to the victim. It has pineapple. Why? Why is it always that it seems like the wrong pizza always has pineapple on it? Hopefully you, like, contacted them and basically said that the delivery driver fucked up. Which is already like, oh god. So is ID card belonging to the victim? He was a detective like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman. Don't you think it's strange? They're getting me my pizza soon. Aw. Meat, sir, I hope you get it quickly enough so you can stuff your face and be fat. I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodwin should have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago. Though, if it had no pineapple on, I ate the one I got. It had extra jalapeno. Oh, that sounds so good. Evidence transferal. Mr. Edwards mentioned that too. But Detective Gumshoe was killed. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but word is that Chief Prosecutor Sky called him out there to the parking lot. And Lana's confessing as much. Oh. Wait. Found in Mr. Edwards' car, stabbed with Mr. Edwards' knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Wait, I mean, sure, of course someone else really did it. Someone who must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be a coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What could have happened? You have to find out a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. He's in a tough spot again. Again? Well, it all started with the murder of that defense attorney, Hammond. You know what I might do? I might actually get a pizza tomorrow. But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent. Listen, pal, there have always been rumors about Mr. Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispered rumors. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering, they're practically shouting. But there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious. I had no idea he was under the gun. Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor's position himself. What? But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this for all of us. I was wondering about that. What? The Dancing Blue Badger? It's my masterpiece. You made this, Detective Gumshoe? The chief threw together some designs, and I just did my thing, pal. Nice work. It's battery powered, so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances until the battery dies. Poor Blue Badger, fated to dance until he drops. A work of art designed by the Chief of Detectives and created by Detective Gumshoe. And that's all I know about that. I'm not officially on this case, you know. Thank you. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? We met the guy who is. What was his name? The guy in the parking lot? That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the Chief of Police. Officer Marshall? Is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something? No, Jake Marshall is just a regular officer. From West LA. For a moment there, I wasn't sure. Look, pal, let me try to make things a little easier for you. Show them this and they'll let you examine the crime scene, maybe. Received from Detective Gumshoe allows Barrett to investigate the crime scene. I'll be surprised if this gets us anywhere. Just act like you're supposed to be there, and nobody will look at you twice, pal. Hey, look here! It looks like something's been crossed out. Maybe it was a letter or something to Detective Gumshoe. Let's see. Annual bonus, $20. I think a couple zeros are missing? No, that sounds about right, at least in the detective's case. Maybe I should rethink my career as an investigator. Yeah. Ah. Looks like the investigation is still going on. I have to be getting back to the shop. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. I'll see you in my dreams tonight then, baby. Oh, still here? Hello. Why, the surprised looks, didn't I mention? I got a boyfriend in the criminal affairs, too. What happened to the security guard? Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a doggy that's lost its herd. Jake Marshall? Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. Poor Gumshoe, only getting $20 as an annual bonus. I feel like I would have gotten that and I would have just resigned right there, personally. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right in the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe? Ah, that old cow dog? You holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look, where it says letter of introduction, it says invitation. I think he's just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all the defensive here? No worries, this proves it's from Detective Gumshoe. Better than a blood test. Guess I'd better let you in then. Well, thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, that's right, he's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me. Hey, wait a second. Isn't this crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settlers, strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny. Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. Well, Miss Wright, what do you say? I say I won't be needing this anymore. Dr. Gumshoe's letter of introduction crumbled and discarded. Can we look at the phone now? This looks like a cell phone. Scientific analysis, which suggests this belongs to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to. What's so scientific about that? Should we check it? Check it! Right, let's check it out. Oh, okay. Woo! This phone's still on the redial screen. Redial? Mr. Wright, most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, you never know with people from your generation. Whatever, let's check this phone out. Now to see who the owner of this phone called last. Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think fast, he just pushes the button. Doesn't think first, he just pushes button. Hey, that song! I know that! Hey, what's going on over there? Oh, sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed redial on that there phone, didn't you? Well, yeah. Whose phone is this, anyway? It was on the ground over there. Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prosecutor Sky. What? It's my sister's. She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Now I got a question for you, partner. I hear a phone ring just now. One of those newfangled ringtones. Oh, that, I'm sorry, that was my phone. What? Your phone? Yeah, it kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone in a wrong number. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. Actually, people will just shoot you because they're fucking crazy in Texas. Uh-oh. I've incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Property of Lana Sky. Last call made at 5:18 on the day of the murder. This rope, is it? Yep, they laid it in the outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You have got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. This appears to be the car where the body was found. It looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk on my subordinate's car. Quite a luxury car, it just screams I have money to burn. Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. Can I talk to you more? Yes. Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young, remember that, partner. Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right? Well, aren't you a feisty doggy there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. A smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the witness, Miss Angel Starr. One stab to the chest, a fine piece of work. This here's the autopsy report. Death due to loss of blood, one knife wound, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Nothing in common? They apparently worked together on a case a few years back, so there's no motive. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. That's one reason why he didn't do much work with the chief prosecutor. But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here, to this parking lot. So it seems. Like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I don't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective. You calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. That's true. The moment that you attempt to try to correct somebody because they're wrong, they'll shoot you because bravado, I guess. Huh? I was one of them fancy shoe detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. They shoot you for Texas. They shoot you for anything in Texas, though. Yes, which makes my statement true. Oh, really? No, he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? So why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime. That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least. He's nothing but a sad old cow dog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth? That cow dog's been kicked out of his own cattle run by order of the chief of police. Just he doesn't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe's kicked out of the investigation? So there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister? That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. And the prosecutor tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences. Officer Marshall. Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... Is there something between this cop and her sister that I don't know about? Apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's the dry wind that's a-blowing through the prosecutor's office. Dry wind or ill will, someone's up to something here, but who? Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth haven't been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence and arranged testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable that is until he met you. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you find one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. One person? Who? Hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. What? My sister? Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets, some people load them with deals. What are you saying, Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? Well, there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere, everyone knows it. Is that why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was closest to Edgeworth? Ugh. 5:12 p.m. Prosecutor's bright red steed came in at that trot real slow like. A trot? My Madonna tells me the crime occurred 3 minutes later, so it seems the chief prosecutor was lying in wait. Maybe waiting for her prince to ride in on his bright red horse. So what you mean is, the killer intended to use Edgeworth's car all along. Prospector. I love that you keep autocorrecting him when he says prospector. Look, I've had enough of Texas tomfoolery as it is. My sister's cell phone. Last time it was used was 5/18, right after Goodman was killed. Maybe she was canceling her date for the night. Why did Lana make that call? Anything else I can say or do? Probably not. Here, a phone. Let's see if it works. Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. I can't hear anything. My ears. No, my ears! Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure. What's she babbling about? Hey, what did you just say? What did you just say? So you can hear just fine. The phone's broken. Aha! A ladder. That's a stepladder. What's the difference? In scientific terms, please. Scientific, huh? Look at the basic nature of things, Mr. Wright. This all seems so horribly familiar somehow. Actually, we should go back to the detention center, shouldn't we? Nope. Something I'm forgetting. Nope. What am I forgetting? Yeah. Is there anything else I absolutely need to... Look, a door! This must mean something. I'm not sure that door mean anything. No, it won't open! A mysterious lock! I fail to see what's mysterious about it. Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more. Let's finish our investigation first, shall we? This is where the cars leave the lot. The arrow on the ground makes it look more like an entrance. What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit. Well, maybe it's both. Kind of a dual purpose? The theory of relativity. Well, I got to write this down. Hey, Mr. Wright. Maybe you know, was Mr. Relatively German or was he British? Mr. Relativity, are you sure that was his name? This wall is in our way. It's got a faucet for water. Wait, I know! This wall is merely a facade, hiding the truth. This isn't a wall, but a water tank. I fail to see how it makes any difference either way. Is there anything else I'm... What's this? Looks like a note of some sort. Look, something's written on it. You're right. Let's see. 67S122. There's a name printed on a paper above that. Goodman. Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so what does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Note to self, for deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? I guess we've got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, a cell phone. So you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing that still is bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma. Yeah? I know that song your phone plays. I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? The popular TV show for kids. The phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:18, just after the murder took place. Your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. Property Alaska last called me to her sister Emma at 5:18 on the day of the murder. The detective is murdered, and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. To be continued. Trial former. You know what? Sure. Let's go to the trial. Let's see. Let's at least get this far. February 23rd, 9:34 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Hi, Retton. How are you doing? We're doing well. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me. No matter what the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. We're doing good aside from that? Aw. Sounds like you need a big hug. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspect of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. Boobs! I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be waiting for you the whole time. I'll be with you the whole time. Blah, 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 blah. February 23rd, 10 a.m. I really should probably grab some, like, soup stuff when I go shopping, too, now that I think about it. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in the courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I definitely need to get good soup. I definitely am also willing to pay at least a nice little bit of money for good soup. Oh! Welcome on in, Coffee. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Get on that crockpot life. One day I will. For now, I can make a pretty decent tomato soup pretty consistently. And it's also very cheap too, which I like. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. Meowdy-doo, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Having a good start to a good day. Currently just kind of playing through a very fun little game that I absolutely enjoy. How's your new year going? Right now it's just a sore throat and feeling slight chills. Aw. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. Busy, busy, busy. Last 2 days at my old job and starting a new one Monday. Woo! Hopefully it's a better paying job too. Can't wait. If you don't mind me asking, what's the job transfer gonna be? What are you going to be going from and to? Loads better pay? Even better! I need to get a better paying job. I'm not shy to admit that I get paid like about 55k a year. That's my annual salary. And I very much would like to actually get paid a lot more. And I know I could. I know I have the experience to basically get paid more like a team lead for the kind of shit that I do. And I really just need to actually... That's another one of my goals for this year, is to actually get a better paying job. That's nearly 3 times my pay a year. I was a casino pastry chef and then moving to uni as assistant director of student organization. You also work... Now you're going to be working at a university too, where everything is fucking on fire. Hopefully the job treats you well though. Especially as an assistant director, you should be fine. Still, I will say that like universities right now are kind of under a lot of... Universities are under a lot of stress right now. It's nearly 3 times my pay a year. I'm so sorry, Meetser. I'm not... I hate to say how much I get paid. But I also like... But it's one of those things where it's like... It's why I try to be as generous as I can be. But, even with my pay, God, is life still so fucking difficult. And that's what makes this worse. It's like, I definitely get paid better than some people that I know, but like, Jesus Christ, is life still so fucking expensive. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. I love this economy so fucking much. Ugh. Oh! Well, I guess I shouldn't ask what university you're going to be working for, but... It's nice though! I'm glad that you're going to be getting paid so much better, and hopefully you'll be able to get all kinds of nice things and be all cozy. And, you know, invest into the things that you absolutely love. I know if I had a lot more money, I would probably eat a lot more like a glutton. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. The cop-up queen. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I've always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. As you were reading it out. Oh, it happens. It's fine. No, I'm just gonna be like reading through a lot of this stuff though through ads. I'm sorry. Coffee. So what brought you to my little corner of the Twitch space though? I'm always curious how people fucking find me. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. Prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. Wasn't this suggested? And I love pandas, and I never seen this game before. Won't be on too much longer. A huge order of 3,000 pastries tomorrow? Oh, fuck. Can I eat all those pastries? That sounds really delicious. I want all the pastries that you could possibly make for me. If that is not too much to ask for. Aw. I don't know, I always get very smiley when people find me on their suggested and they're just like, "Ah, panda, I'm going to click on his face." She was a first-rate homicide detective. It's a Michael Jackson themed party. With pastries? I'm like thinking about it and being like, how would you theme the pastry to be like Michael Jackson? How am I supposed to compete with 3K pastries with my poorest stack of waffles? What? Miss Star was a detective? Ah, ha! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecution office is divided into 2 blocks. Block A is for the prosecutor's office personnel. Block B is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor space, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block and the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who was this valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor.
Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright?
I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are willing to accept the truth. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush that little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star.
Wait, are they talking about me?
Witness testimony.
Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to the garish car. Piano keys made of mousse with Kit Kats on top. Vinyl made of banana cookie butter. Panna cotta with the vinyls printed on sugar paper. And lemon curd cheesecake kisses. Oh, coffee. It sounds delicious. Why aren't you making food for me? I'm joking. Look, I am definitely the feed me all the delicious food. Do not mind me. The chief prosecutor, I'm gonna miss it so much, eating all the fancy desserts. Aww. Yeah, because now you're just gonna be working as assistant director of student organization, which is definitely going to be a lot more, what do you call it? A lot more of just like events and stuff. Although I guess knowing how like food service works also helps a lot with that. Relaxing. That would also probably, well, especially, yeah. Yeah. I myself actually work in financial aid, so I deal with a lot of loan stuff myself. I'm actually essentially the subject matter expert of loans. I know a good bit about it. There's still plenty more I still could learn, technically speaking. Not to mention, can you help me out with mine? I mean, I probably could, or at least I could help you navigate it. Like, I know how they work to a degree, and if I don't know how, I can always look it up. Because I know how to look it up, essentially. I will say, though, that I'm still digging through my undergrad loans and starting masters. The only thing in which I am going to say is that it is a really terrible time to be going through education. Like, higher education right now is like, it is a shit time to be trying to go through it right now. I'll say that very frankly. Education still has to happen anyways. And there are some people that just can't wait, and I'm like, I get that, and I understand. Just understand that the current administration is very much against education and has been trying to destroy the department. Like, they have flat out basically said that they want to destroy the Department of Education, which they really can't, but they can certainly cripple it. He will say that with his whole... At least it's basically free. I think I can take 2 classes per semester covered by the school. I can only take 1, which kind of sucks. I get 1 free course a semester. It would be nice if I could get 2, because then at least I'd be half-time. That would actually mean something. Ugh. Maybe I should actually look into going to a school that would allow me to actually, like, take 2 classes instead of 1. I don't really care to work... I don't really want to work at the university I'm at anyways. I will wholeheartedly admit that, too. Anyways, the chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. So you say you're going to Hammer Time? Stop it. February, I got offered a dream job, and then Orange Fella came in and froze federal funding, and I got terminated before I got to move into my office. Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry. No, that happened a lot. Like, we actually even had, like, our office actually had to be downsized, which is stupid in my opinion. And I'm lucky I still have my job. I'm lucky I can still work remotely even. They pretty much don't mess with me, but it's just not a good time, that's for sure. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend, how touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Miss Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing of a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired? To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro. As you know, my testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr.
This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several?
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. Speaking of which, if anyone wants to apply for my yet another boyfriend position, you're more than welcome to apply.
I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. Unbashed polyrap woo. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime? When I said something, perhaps it was my... You sensed something, so you're saying you had a premonition of the murder. It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes, it was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
A young cheese?
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets, a greenhorn.
Then I must be hard, yellow, and sharp as a tack.
Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirred in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to the garish car. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edworth's car, yes. Mr. Edworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edworth's. Wasn't it?
Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. The person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie.
Huh? Rookie?
Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That was inspiring.
I believe I heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
A photograph? You took a photograph? You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over, and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
No, wait, that's right. The moment of the crime as photographed by Angel Star. Now serving Phoenix fritters, spicy and yummy, if not a bit pale in color. Hello, Dante, how are you doing? So what was the defendant doing at the time? Was holding the knife in her right hand. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are by nature well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my ex-tell surprise set. You can't testify as to your ability to kill an egg, I mean a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife, what then? Then she thrust the pointy bit into the detective's. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before, anything else? Scientifically speaking, Mr. Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty something. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that! We got a piece of evidence. Okay. She was in Lot A, which makes sense. Something wrong with this photo. I don't know what it is. There's blood all over her jacket. Or at least over a jacket. I always knew a day would come like this. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief was standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Chief, then she dressed the pointy bit of the... Maybe it's this? The fact that she's not holding a knife anymore. But we have the murder weapon, though. Okay, let's do another round of pressing and seeing if that does anything. See if anything comes up. That's the security of that boyfriend. You have several? Yes, this, that point. Care to join yet another? I'll have to think about that. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up to the second level. Silly, you were holding your lunches by car. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime, which we can prove that. You said something, murder, premonition, oh... Garage car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, blah blah blah. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. It is your knife, Prosecutor Benny. Why didn't you stop the crime? What? We have a new piece of evidence, which is this. She's in A block. That's where everything should have been. That's where the crime took place. She should have been in B block, as she already has mentioned. We can see the wire grating. The only thing in which I might look closely at that photo. Yeah, I see the A block here, which is where the crime took place. She has the jacket on, which would be maybe Goodman's, but what does that have to do with anything? Wasn't she supposed to be handling the knife at that moment? That's what I'm thinking it is. I'm thinking that's where we're trying to get to at this point. It's just talking about the fact of like, but where's the knife, essentially. But you have to be very specific about everything in this game. So that's why I'm like, objection! Okay, it is. Trust me, I get paranoid about this game because this game is very weird about in what fucking order you present what evidence. So with this one, it's like, am I really going to try and be like, but where's the knife? Which I'm like, I'm assuming inside of him, but we have to have people tell us that first. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't it odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. Objection! And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. It's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. That's right, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? No problem! Objection. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture, the moment she witnessed the crime. Yay! Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it. If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice. I guess I'm getting rather good at watching you play the last few cases. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Now that's where we know for a fact that that is untrue.
Objection!
Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have had those on? If it wasn't not premeditative, she would not be wearing those gloves. Whoa! These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. Murder was planned, the rubber gloves prove it. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Impressive. I'm sorry. They took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them all thinking this was all planned. She can't prove this claim. The trial is already... If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. Got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. There is. Hold on. At least, I believe I understand the point where we are in this trial. Namely, if it was premeditative, why did she use the murder weapon from Edgeworth's knife?
Objection!
Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. Aishu, hello. How are you doing today? The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? A bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there. Defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, Rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder. And that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? This knife just happens to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon! Order! Order! Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch she'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you aren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditative theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Oh! I already have that one. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defendant may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, nigiri! I haven't had good nigiri in a hot minute. Hold on. Not even gonna waste my time with all the rest of the stuff. Excuse me? He had one knife wound?
Objection!
But if you order a pizza with extra sausage, you may be premeditating getting laid. If I order a pizza, does that mean I'm going to vor the delivery boy? It might. You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise! I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, mister. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk, he's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed. Well, witness? We got the crime scene set right. Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler? Ugh.
Objection!
In case people are wondering, a muffler is something you wrap around your neck. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Edgeworth is objection cucking Phoenix? Yes. Well, now, where were we? The witness was giving us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Excuse me. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against the Angel Star, resistance is futile.
You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star.
That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake.
Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hand aside, kicked over an oil drum.
An oil drum? Hard to imagine.
Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
You'd hear her as Jennifer Coolidge. So where is this partition on the floor plan? Ugh. I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then?
I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her more for details? I'd like to see this on the floor plans just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block.
So you witnessed the murder from here.
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes? Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing. The cough-up queen, lunch lady, athlete indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. How did Miss Guy not get away? She mentions the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her was say the word muffler.
Just the one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else?
Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Our phone? She can't mean... Do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see?
No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone.
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please the rookie defense attorney. Word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
I was going to ask the same thing.
I only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. stabbed the victim, and ran behind the partition. She then picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. She then pulled out her cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? I'm off to bed. Good night, Coffee. I hope you sleep well, and I hope all those pastries get cooked very tastily. Moi. She said she saw it all. How could she if there is a partition in the way? I think this is where I need to put up the floor plan?
Objection!
Yes. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky.
Objection!
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you two would be who would have thought you would have been my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago? Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making the phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. The emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Ugh! Order! What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies! Gah. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... where she saw it, the order of events. Isn't it just what she saw? I mean, she thought it's like what she saw was... That happened at 5:18. Think it through. I'm trying. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Apparently the attack happened at 5:18. What she saw was that she saw them calling. The order of events. Where she saw it? Oh, God. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Because she said what she saw. What she lied about. Because we have a photograph. We know where she saw it. She saw it from B block. But she couldn't have saw it because of the partition. She couldn't saw the phone call because of the partition. Unless I'm like overlooking something and I'm being silly. Which is always a possibility for me. Because it's like, I could just be missing a critical detail that I'm like, ugh. It's not the order of events, that seems silly. It's either where she saw it or what she saw. How would she know about the phone call? Let's try where she saw it. Mrs. Guy tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie? I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one.
Objection!
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask you a question to a clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was this witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Skye witnessed it. It would have to be at the security room, wouldn't it? Wait. Security guard room. Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you could see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness not being part of the prosecutor's office couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Starr. Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective, you should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Skye? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh. She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
Objection!
It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What could change? Well, the angle of view to the crime for starters. Why, the angle of which she saw the crime occurred would change. Angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime. Oh yes, is this important why? Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be the distance to the crime. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
Objection!
My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change with what she could see.
Objection!
What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it took her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye? Well, witness? You... Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend? He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Jesus Christ. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in B block. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? This changes things considerably. But it was the woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. That's right. You have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? I mean, I guess the phone call would be the thing. Because what the hell was she doing all this time?
Objection!
5 minutes between the witnessing of a murder and the arrest? Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time if you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, Rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah. I am getting hungry. Well then, it seems we come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. With that, court is adjourned. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off of me. I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Star.
Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe, did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
There was blood found on that shoe.
Try Lunchland for all of your lunch decisive evidence needs.
Objection!
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And you had blood tests performed?
Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
What?
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 9. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, the shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensic department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen.
You can at least study some evidence law, really.
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Gonna have a stroke because of this whoop. Yeah. Anything to ensure the guilty are properly judged. White enamel shoes bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Skye.
Very well, Miss Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Before I do...
Huh? There's blood here, too.
On the sole of the shoe?
It's gotta be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood, it's horrible. This blood might be an important clue.
An important clue for later. For now...
Anything inside the shoe? It's blood. It's my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis.
Aha! But we already have proof that disclaims that. But we'll get to that in a minute.
Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the 2 prosecutors stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blink means nothing. And why didn't you just tell the truth?
Don't make me laugh. We are dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimony, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This is when the suspect is admitting she did it. But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's get this over with. And now the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon, if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. You removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. So you brought it to the forensic department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. And the shoe does appear to have blood stains on it. Well, the man was stabbed, after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 blood types found in the shoe. And the other blood matched the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, Rookie? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test result. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Lana Skye's. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some, like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or do you not have a problem with the shoe? Problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Well, I mean, I have to say that there's a problem, but let's save here anyways. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, Rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. I wonder if you've noticed the blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, Rookie. Or it'll be blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the bottom of his shoe? Well, if he was stabbed here, where the fuck is the puddle of blood? The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe.
Objection!
But this picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints.
Objection!
Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order! Well, witness? Right going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think! Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. You were hoodwinked to the very end. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that? I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum, kicked over by the chief prosecutor, was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she kicked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the blood stain that would have become evidence against her. What? That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstain left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Blood doesn't wash away that easily, Edgeworth. It's anime. Don't think about it too hard. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe? Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. The court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. I mean, that blood splatter also isn't consistent with the stab wound to the chest either, but I've had to keep my bitch ass shut about complaining over that. Look, this game is just a logic puzzle. That's all that it is. It's disguised with all kinds of legal stuff. But I mean, if this game researched every little thing about a crime scene, it would take way too much effort and time, more than likely. Like, I can appreciate the over-the-top characters and the visual novel story plotline as it is. I think that's kind of more of the focus of it. Like, the inconsistency with real life for me is just kind of like, it's fine. Little girl, what did you just say? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution side? The games would never happen. Yes. Like, this entire game series requires you to understand the whole, like... It's just like, look, you have to suspend your disbelief of a lot of things. There's no way a trial could ever happen in 3 days. The reason why it's done here is so then that there is a very clear ending to this game that you know and be like, okay, I know I'm at the end of the trial and the end of blah, blah, blah. Anyways. Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
Objection!
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments, and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this! A photograph? I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in the photograph, in the photo! Hey, it's clearly wet. Erasing last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. Sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well, this time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection!
Miles Edgelord, hi, Midakai. How are you doing, sweetie? Your Honor, wait! What is it with you people? Can't I add down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? You flirt. I love flirting. Hush. Matter of fact, I was just flirting with somebody earlier today. I mean, I flirt with a lot of people, but I was flirting with a new streamer person because they were a cute bat, and they were just like, oh, I love it when people boost my self-esteem. And I'm like, good. Have your self-esteem boosted. Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right? Are you saying there's a problem with the last piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this photograph. Oh, I think I get it. Muffler. I think we have to point this out of being like, there's something here. The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a minute, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor. You just said muffler. Oh, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf or anything kind in this photograph. A muffler is also a part on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. What's the suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case. Dragonite, hello! Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Actually, hold on. Let me do this real fast before I completely forget. Boop. There we go. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. 'Cause why not is why, Your Honor. I should hydrate. Hold on. I still have some tea. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. I need to have a lunch. I am also hungry for lunch. Drink water, you fucking water addict. Tea is also hydrating. Thank you. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? Specific teas are hydrating. Actually, most drinks are very hydrating, probably to a lesser degree because of this fact of like caffeine is somewhat dehydrating, but not so dehydrating enough as that it wouldn't cause you to be at least getting some liquids inside of you. The only real liquid that really is dehydrating is alcohol, but that's because alcohol is just that bad for you. Also, you get hydration from plenty of other sources of food as well, technically speaking. A lot of things are hydrating. Is it as hydrating as water? No. But then again, water is just more hydrating in general. Anything else is like, yes, it's not as hydrating, but it is still a liquid inside of you. And it is still helping. We're all just water, Doc, so does that mean I need to start drinking you, Mitsuru? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Some water is more hydrating than other water. I mean, it's more like some liquids are more hydrating than other liquids, yes. There are plenty of people that look at like coffee and tea and even sodas as not being hydrating, and it's just kind of like, it's like, it's not as hydrating as water, yes, but it is still hydrating to a degree. If you're dehydrated, it's like, yeah, you should drink water, but like, you could still get your hydration through most liquids and even a lot of different kinds of food. Anyways. Though specifically it's herbal teas and black coffee. I'd have to look into this. Ladies' lingerie for the distinguished gentleman. I have to look into these claims. I have heard so many different claims when it comes to this, and it feels like every time I research into it, it's always been, it's fine.
Anyways. They're also diuretics. A lot of things are technically a diuretic to a degree. But especially when it comes to... So too much will damage your organs. I would have to look into how much is too much, though. I mean... This is definitely... Then again, a lot of things, if you eat or drink too much of it, will also damage your organs as well. It goes more into, like, how much would you have to ingest? Like, are we talking about only a few cups, or are we talking about, like, gallons of tea, for instance? Well, it seems we have suspended the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any questions unanswered here, we will do a disservice to the law. I'm sorry you're tired, Dragonite. So coffee is an aesthetic, sadly, so it's also some detrimental things, such as ruin your digestive tract along with your kidneys. These are things I would have to look into. Actually, if we want to get into very interesting fun facts, did you know that kimchi causes stomach cancer? This was actually discovered. This was actually basically a claim that was discovered by South Korean scientists. Because South Korea is very famous that every meal has kimchi in it. Now, a lot of people do eat kimchi, but they don't specifically get stomach cancer from it. The amount of kimchi that South Koreans eat is absurd. Like, every meal has kimchi in it. They do believe that it's the amount of kimchi that they are eating that is causing the stomach cancer in Korea. Who would have thought? So it's one of those things where it's like, it's probably actually fairly safe to eat in moderation, but South Koreans don't eat it in moderation. They eat the fuck out of it because it's their national food. But that kind of goes back to my previous statement of, in moderation, most things are good for you. If you eat too much of basically anything, it probably is hazardous to your health in some weird way. I could probably figure this out with almost anything. I'm willing to bet that there's probably even something with, like, say, corn. Although some of the adverse health effects might be something as simple as just, like, carbs, and therefore you might start becoming more diabetic or something. That's probably the more, like, lame ones that would end up happening. Or, like, if you eat too much meat, your cholesterol will start going up way too much. But that's with almost any kind of food or anything that you eat a lot of. Me, I'm having like 1 cup of tea right now. I don't drink tea every day, and I drink maybe a cup of coffee every day too. Now, oh god, I'm sorry, I gotta get up and start my day. Good day, Dragonite. Love you. Mwah. Sorry. Being health conscious is fine, but there are a lot of things that you can ingest in moderation and it's fine. I mean, coffee, tea of any kind is usually going to be pretty okay with you as long as it's probably not like the really like oddly specific coffees out there. 2 pots of black coffee a day and still haven't ruined my intestines further than what my mom did with just 1 pot a day. And that's also another weird thing too. Who knows? And even then, a pot of coffee is a lot of coffee. At least I would consider that a lot of coffee, personally speaking. It's just a matter of... there's so many things about food and drinks that are just like that. For the most part, coffee, tea is generally hydrating to a degree. I can agree that it can also have certain downsides to it. I'm not saying you should drink a gallon of coffee, but if you drink coffee, you are at least getting water in your system to a certain point. If you want to be hydrated, it's like, yes, drink water. I definitely promote drinking water in general. I'll drink a gallon, don't test me, man. But that's the thing, though. Food in any excess is going to be harmful. I don't care what food it is. It could be fucking kale as far as I'm concerned. And I'm willing to bet that I could find a research that states why X amount of kale is bad for you. Anyways, have the car at the crime scene be inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will have to wait until after we've seen all of the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Ooh, that was close. But we made it, at least for now. This court will now adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime, after all. He's still hungry? To be continued! Wait. Is there actually a part 2 to this day? It's already midnight, too. Trial ladder. There is a part 2. No, it's midnight. I'm done. Your Honor, where is my lunch? I did start late. I started late because I was honestly just rather tired. I have to remember that, like, these games get really long after a while. This episode is long. I know! I'm not going to finish this episode even tomorrow, more than likely. I'm going to do my best to get through this case as much as I can. But for today, I am going to have to call it here. Okay. Close that. Alright, let me get some music going. Let's see. You're doing that. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, is he playing the mind game? He is! Except he's been going for a while. I could also raid into you. There's a lot of people I could try raiding into right now. Let's see. That'll be boring today. That's actually one of the longest in the original trilogy. 2F mini Mary services. 2F memory services. Now it's definitely like, it definitely takes a very long time to actually get through it all. Alright, let's see. Because I am crazy, and I like raiding into this Yin, although he's a fat otter right now. First off, thank you all so much for just hanging out with me today. For anyone that's interested, these are my socials. You can find me on Blue Sky, all my previous videos up to a certain point on YouTube, and if you want to join my Discord, just ask me, and I will send you a link. Otherwise, what you got against fat otters, Pan Pan? Absolutely nothing! I love Spacey being a fat-ass otter. Thank you all so much for being here. I very much appreciate all of you. There's the raid message. You can use any comfy emotes that you would like. Otherwise, I should be streaming more of this tomorrow. I might start early if I feel like it. I might not. And hopefully I'll play this unless Spacey has a plan for tomorrow as well. He might not. But we'll see. Until then, I love you all. Make sure you stay well. And until next time, Happy New Year. Make sure that you do well.